Welcome back, everybody, to Maniacal Musings. I'm your host, Jeremy, as always. I'm just here for the titties and beer, and maybe some Catholic girls to go with it. We musers are a misunderstood group that just like to throw a monkey wrench into your perfect suburban life. We'll bump our sex, drugs, and music through your streets and ask, what's your trip? We're just some bong-token alcoholics trying to have some fun here. You could almost call it a Tinseltown rebellion of sorts, but there's not enough space for all of us, so we're just up in arms for now. There's a political joke there, but I'm not going to freaking make it. But let me introduce my co-host. And no, we're not turning again. It's the same co-host it's been for a while, and it will be for the foreseeable future. He may not be a goblin girl, like I tend to like, but he'll do Everlong at this point. The color and the shape of his psychedelic funk will play on this show until you are dumb all over, like when Bobby Brown goes down. He's my hero, even when he's so high that he wants me to call him Big Hoss. The Catholic girls brag about when they were on their knees taking that bump. CJ motherfucking playing the music god himself.
I am here, alive. Not well, but alive.
Well, we're glad you're here as always, buddy. But and I had fun with that intro. I knew I was going to when I saw the album choices. I was like, okay, I could see some.
Yeah, I recognized a bunch of those.
I try. But folks, tonight we have another very special guest because we took a week off from it, but my trek through the New England Podcasters Group roster continues as I decided to bring on fellow founding member Lou Bortone, host of AI Today podcasts.
Hey guys, how's it going? Thanks for having me.
And folks, if you have any questions about AI, this guy knows the answer.
It'll change tomorrow, but I'll know it today.
That's all we can ask, because I don't know it today or yesterday or the day before. So it's I fight wanting to use AI like there's no tomorrow, but. You just can't. You can't resist it. It's all right.
I know.
I was going to say, it takes all I can take not to want to put my hand through the screen using Google Gemini when I have to use it, because Google or anything needs to be just like burned to the ground.
Yeah, it's crazy.
It really is. So, why don't you give them a quick overview of what your podcast is, Lou?
I do a podcast. It was daily, and that was just like way too much of a grind. So now I'm doing it when I can. And it's just a quick update on what's happening in the world of AI. I stay up late exploring all these crazy things and talk about different tools like Suno for music, which is either going to save or destroy the music industry. And tools, tips, trends, all that kind of stuff to do with AI. I try to focus on the fun sort of video side because my background is in video and TV. So that's it.
Oh, there you go. Well, folks, it's funny. The president of the NEPG, who is going to be on the show next week, actually, if she gets back to me with her album choice, but she's going to be on the show next week. She's a busy woman, But she told me when told her I wanted people from the NEPG onto the show, she's like, oh, you need to get Lou on. She's like, he has a story about a concert that he has to tell on your show because it's going to make everybody die laughing. and I wasn't part of the group yet when you told it, so I don't even know the story.
Yeah. There's several, so I'm not really sure which one. I think I know which one she's referring to.
I believe it has to do with passing out.
Yeah, that was the Hampton Beach Casino Ballroom incident. It was Tesla, who I'd never seen before. So I went with my brother-in-law, my sister, my wife. I guess I would call it over-medicated. So I had taken like a sort of a John Bonham inspired cocktail of I don't know what, and just sort of don't remember after the third song. I was carried out, not on a stretcher. I went out on my own power, but I don't remember much after the third song in the set.
Oh God, that reminds me of the time I remember the time back about 10 years ago. I did acid at an ICP show. There's this guy. It was in Worcester and at the Palladium and there's this guy. My cousin and I are walking to the show. There's this guy walking down the street. He yells something. I don't understand what the fuck he's saying. But my cousin, with his history, knew exactly what the guy was saying. And we end up getting some hash and some acid. And we saved the hash for later because it was hard as a brick, and you had to get it home and break it down and whatnot. So we went to the bar, had beers, popped the acid. Like, what the fuck? Let's go to this ICP concert. And DJ Paul of 3-6 Mafia opened the show. Great set. I remember him. POD started playing. Actually, no. DJ Paul was about halfway through his set. All of a sudden, I blacked out. And I come to, and DJ Paul is on the stage with a devil mask on, chanting 666. Which, imagine coming to and seeing that. Imagine. And being like, where the fuck am I? And so, then I kind of blacked out again somehow. I just, like, I went in and out. And POD is on stage, and I come to on their last song for their set, which is Alive. So it was perfect timing on that one too, and I'm like, how does this keep happening? And the rest of the night, I was fully there. The rest of the night, I saw all of ICP's set, freaking second or third time I saw them at that point. So I was freaking loving it. So it was a great show. I mean, I missed most of POD, which I'm fine with that, honestly. But I heard like the one song I wanted to hear. So, but which. If anybody's asking why is POD opening for ICP, they're both technically Christian bands. Just
oh wow, really?
ICP is Christian rap, technically. I mean, if you sort of want to call that.
I guess we all have a story of this sort because mine was 1987, the final tour that Pink Floyd did as the whole group. When they did the Delicate Sound of Thunder tour, we decided we were going to go see them at the Pontiac Silverdome. And, all my friends, because of the era, they all had the old shaggin' wagon type vans with, the cush velvet on the walls and the bed in the back and all that. So we took like 17 and a half van loads of people to see Pink Floyd, and my idiot friends on the way there. Come on, dude. Try some shrooms. No, I'm good. Try some shrooms. You can't see Floyd if you're not. So I just a little bit just to shut him up. All the way there, I was fine. Got into the Silverdome. I was fine. Got to our seats. I was fine. Third song, they played Mother. Mama, are they gonna drop the bomb? Laser went past my head, big light on the stage rolled, and a fucking pig come floating by, and my brain just... And I started screaming, oh shit, it's the end of the world. They're going to drop the bomb. We're all going to die. My buddies are like, fuck. So my buddy Troy, who is this big dude, grabs me over his shoulder, like a fireman's carry, starts walking towards the thing. His brother takes his flannel off, throws it over my head. We get out of the thing into the hallway. State cop stops my friend and says, what are you doing? Like, what's going on? Troy, being the consummate stoner, never misses a beat. Looks at state cop dead in his eye and says, oh, he's epileptic. The lights, he's having a seizure. So the cop walked this way to grab a CB, the coffer thing, and Troy just fucking goes screaming towards the door. Runs outside, loses the cop, takes me out to the van, throws me on the bed, ties me up with extension cords so I can't get out of the van, and then goes back to the concert. Story among my friends is I was still tripping when the show got over. I was apparently having a discussion with Scooby-Doo over the best flavor of Scooby snacks, were they pizza or peanut butter? Everybody still laughs about it. It's my one and only time doing drugs. So, I don't remember the majority of it other than waking up with a really bad headache the next day. And thinking, I probably should have just got drunk.
I've talked to a lot of plant medicine specialists on my other show, and that That is a common side effect. Is a nice headache the next day. But yeah, that's why I never want to try ayahuasca or any of that good stuff. But well, actually, I would try ayahuasca. I would try it. I'm not gonna lie. It's supposed to awaken. It's supposed to awaken you, but I don't know. I've never done it. But folks, we're not here to talk about plant medicine. Come back next week. we're here. We're here to talk about music. And Lou, what album did you want to bring us?
I brought The Color and the Shape, Foo Fighters' second album, really first album as a band, but way back in, I think it was 1997, 1998. And been a big Foo Fighters fan for a long time, and that's probably my favorite record of theirs.
Yeah. Well, and CJ, just so you know, his other choice was Led Zeppelin 4, but somebody already brought that on, so I had to say that one.
I have that tats for Led Zeppelin 4.
Zeppelin 4 is not terrible. I have a bunch of music ones. I got a Blue October and Nems,
Cool.
Pulp Ford, Corrosion of Conformity one over here somewhere. So,
yeah, I'd show my Hatchet Man off, but that would make me take it off my shirt. So, and as much as the women of the audience may want to see that, the men don't. So come on, I'll be good for the gentlemen. But well, CJ, I'll let you go first this week. What did you think of Color and Shape?
I mean, I stand by my opinion that Dave pretty much always was the only talented part of Nirvana. I know I catch a lot of flack for that, but you know, if you listen to Nirvana, Dave's drumming really was the heart and soul of that band, and you know, he strikes me as a really good dude. Like he's just one of them sort of low key guys who I don't think really planned to be a rock star, but it kind of just happened, and you know, he does what he does. I don't like everything they do, but you know, there's enough of their stuff that I don't race to the radio to turn it off. One thing that I notice as a constant about them is while the majority of the records have good songs, or I'm sorry, while the records majority wise have good songs, their sequencing is terrible. You notice it on this one. They'll go from a fast song to a slow song to a fast song to a slow song to a fast song to a slow song, and it's like it's a real mood killer. Like somebody needs to like work with them better to, you know, space out the the swings of up down, right. Down up down up down.
I don't know how they decide that for album order.
I mean, normally it's kind of a band thing, but you have producers and managers as well. But you know, they're not good at it. There's a few bands that are good at it. Some are really, really great, but you know, not enough to go to the mood. It's a good record. There's plenty of good songs in this. There's a couple songs that are duds, but you know, there's a lot of songs on this record. So, you know, overall, you get a good quality record with a lot of really good songs on it that are produced well. And my one major beef with this record, Taylor is such an amazing drummer. The mix of the drums on this one is kind of, you know, his drums are kind of low in the mix. They don't come off nearly as powerful on this record as they are live. I don't know if that was intentional or not, but you would seem to think that a band with two amazing drummers in it, you would have a more powerful drum mix. But that's, you know, again, not enough of a beef to really cross foul per se. This record.
It's a taste choice, I think, because they're not trying to be like Slipknot, be like just pounding the drums into your head. Like
no, and I'm not saying that. It's just there's a few songs where the drums are where they should be, and there's a few where they're kind of, you know. I don't know
I think they were, from what I read and heard, they were sort of trying to get away from the heavy grunge thing. It's like, okay, we're going to be post grunge. We're not just going to be another, we're not going to be Nirvana Part 2. So that may have been an intentional, like, okay, we got to tone it down a little bit.
And thank God for that, because we don't want Nirvana Part 2. I didn't want Nirvana Part 1, for God's sake. But I have...
Say Nirvana was the luckiest band of all time.
Yes, they were.
Andrew Wood overdosed, Mother Love Bone imploded, and Nirvana just happened to be in the perfect spot at the perfect time to get sucked into that power vacuum that was created by, if Andrew never dies, Mother Love Bone goes on to be the biggest thing in the world. And you never hear of Pearl Jam, you never hear of Nirvana, you never probably hear of half the bands from Seattle because, that always went to Mother Love Bone. So, anyway, sorry.
It's all good. Foo Fighters, I mean, I grew up hearing their music, but I never really got into them. Learning to Fly was one of the first songs I ever heard of them, and I freaking love that song. I could never see the music video on MTV to this day, like seeing it like every freaking day for months. But it was a fun video. It was a decent video. It wasn't great, but this album I never heard. I knew of this album. I just never heard the whole album. A lot of songs I knew on, apparently. They didn't realize I knew. So I'm like, oh, that's Foo Fighters. Okay. A lot of those experiences today, but I'm going to disagree with you, CJ, on the not liking the tempo of the album, because I listened to this first thing in the morning, and I kind of dug that, went back and forth between the fast and slow. Like, I kind of like that, like, built you up and then brought you down, and then built you up and brought you down. Like, it didn't mess with my mood. It kind of, like, made it, and I knew when songs were ending and beginning, which I could say it for every album tonight, obviously, but a lot of albums we've had on the show, I can't say I know when the fuck one song ends, one song begins. I was listening to a Rage album today after I had done their albums, and that was the problem on it, is I couldn't tell when one song ended and another began. It just sounded like they all like ran together. Mm-hmm. So I like that about this album. Like it was very easy to tell when a new song's starting, and the way they did it was good, because all of a sudden there'd be a song coming on, and I'd be like, oh, this is good. This is fast. I know this song. Fuck. And I mean, I don't think I knew any of the slow songs really, but all the fast songs, as soon as I heard like the first like riff of the guitar, I was like, wait a minute, why do I know this riff? And I mean, a lot of them are songs I've heard in supermarkets over the years, or songs I've heard on the radio back in the day. But I enjoyed it. I mean, I'm exactly like CJ. I can't stand Nirvana. They had a couple good hits, but besides that, they're nothing. Foo Fighters have proven themselves over a test of time, and Dave Grohl is an amazing person. You see all the charity work he does online and whatnot. He's just an amazing freaking person. He's not one of those rock stars. He's not a Tommy Lee. He's not a freaking any of those big rock stars that need to be in your face and be on TV constantly. Like he's there. He's like Youngblood. But
it's funny. I like that the singles and the hits from the album, like My Hero and Everlong, which is, I guess, probably the biggest thing. Is I don't even like. I like sort of the deeper cuts and some of the other tracks better than the so-called hits.
I definitely found a mix of both I liked. I'm not gonna lie, but let's get into that. What were your top 5 for Foo Fighters, Lou?
Foo Fighters, I would say. New Way Home, which I think is the last cut of the album, is one of my favorite Foo Fighters songs. Also, Monkey Wrench was probably one of my faves on that one, for sure. And now I'm blanking on not so much on My Hero. I mean, it's okay, but I think it's just overplayed and overdone. Sometimes you just hear a song so much you just get sick of it.
Oh yeah.
There are a couple of others, and you're right. They do sort of go, from here to there to whatever. It's kind of hard to keep track of all of the pacing because it's kind of weird. I'm blanking now. Like I have it's like, oh my God, I'm on a podcast and I can't remember the name of my favorite records. But there's a bunch on there that are really good. Enough Space is like kind of a banger, I guess. That's another one. But it's funny because I was looking, a little bit deeper into the album today, and it's like, a lot of this came out of Dave Grohl's first divorce, and it's all sort of And that's why he kind of like, oh, it's kind of like a therapy session. Like it starts with, you know, a sort of a mellow song called Doll, and it ends with New Way Home. So it's sort of like, okay, it's his whole post-divorce journey, I guess, which I thought was kind of interesting. I didn't know that before. I thought it was a bunch of songs.
Oh, interesting, because it's kind of comparable then to the album that our guest brought on a couple months ago now. The lead singer from Blue October's solo album, Justin. Yeah.
Get it right. First and out.
I'm not a Blue October fan, but that's the first time I ever heard the freaking guy. For God's sake, I never knew his name till then. But it's kind of like his. It's kind of like the album of his we had. It's all about his divorce. Like his is a lot more darker and sadder, but still, they both can be compared. But CJ,
My Poor Brain is another good one. Just some cool lyrics in there too.
My poor brain is definitely a fun one. I didn't have that on my list, but My Poor Brain was a fun one. It's because just the way it starts off, I'm like, oh, that's why it's called that. Okay.
Yeah. And then probably the fifth one would probably be Johnny Park.
Mm-hmm.
Like the drum riff at the beginning.
Yes, indeed. And CJ, what were your top 5 before I go off mine?
Go ahead and New Year's real quick. I gotta check something. I put the same song on my list twice.
Well, okay. I had 2 honorable mentions for this album as well because it had a lot of good songs. Up in Arms and The Color and the Shape were my honorable mentions. Up in Arms is a fun song, and The Color and the Shape's a good way to end the album. I thought it was like a great ending track. Mm-hmm. My number 5 was Enough Space because I never heard that song, but that song freaking is head banging. Oh my God. I'll listen to that in the car any day of the week. Number 4 is Monkey Wrench, which never knew the name of the song, never knew who sang it. But I knew the song. I knew the guitar. So that was a pleasant surprise. My number 3 is the only one left I didn't know before this. But my number 3 is Hey Johnny Park. You're right. The drums at the beginning of that were fun, and it was just a great song overall. So that kind of. And then number 2, My Hero. Knew the fucking song for years now. Never knew it was Foo Fighters. I always thought it was like Creed. I thought it was like Creed or one of those freaking bands.
Yeah.
Like, I thought it was like one of those like early 2000s like dad rock bands. But like, I never knew that was Foo Fighters. But I mean, I've heard that in so many movies and TV shows. It's not even funny. Like, and I never knew it was like Here Comes My Hero. Like, I never could understand what the hell they were saying in the chorus. Like when I hear it like in anything else. But when I saw the title, I was like, oh, that makes sense now. Okay.
Yeah.
But
that's a fun one live too, and especially when Taylor Hawkins was live, he just beat the shit out of the drums.
I'm sure. And my number 1 had to be Everlong, which is the only Foo Fighters song on the Rolling Stone Top 500 list.
Wow.
And Everlong is just freaking. Everybody knows Everlong. It's one of the most amazing rock songs of the last 25 years, 20, 30 years, however long it's been now. But
kind of put them on the map.
It definitely did. It definitely blew them out of the water. I was kind of hoping this was the album of Learn to Fly, but then when I saw the year, I'm like, nah, definitely not. Learn to Fly was maybe the next album or the one after that even. But I love that song. I don't know why. So that song sticks in my head always. But overall, really good album. I enjoyed the hell out of it. And as a great comedian once said, now for something completely different. CJ!
Well,
I'm dying. Oh yeah, we'll take your top 5s. My bad. I totally.
I had wind up on my list twice. I was looking at the thing wrong when I made it. My number 5 is Walking After You. Number 4 is Monkey Wrench. I love Monkey Wrench. That's like one of my. I love that middle section where he's like, I never wanted anything. He just starts like chanting that really. Hey Johnny Park is number 3. But my top 2, Wind Up is number 2, and my number 1 though is because it's got such a punk flair to it. Is the song Enough Space? It's just it's a ripper of a song, man, and it's really. I wish Foo Fighters did more songs like it. I mean, there's plenty that they do like it, but I could really do for a whole record in that like kind of tempo. It's almost it kind of fits into the space where Dave did the Crowbot thing record with all the different stars and all that, and it kind of almost has that flavor to it. So
yeah, good stuff.
I like that song a lot.
Good album, great album overall. I was surprised. I almost went into this thing. I'm like, oh god, Foo Fighters. I'm not gonna hate this or love this. I didn't know which way I was gonna go in the beginning, but then as soon as I started hearing, I was like, all right, I'm not disappointed at all. Thank you, good job. It's yeah, but now CJ, let's talk about this album you wanted to bring, and what album was that?
So I knew immediately last week after we did the thing with Aaron that I knew what record I was bringing this week, regardless of who the guest was or what their thing was. They could have brought they could have brought like Celine Dion, and I was doing this record. Brought Frank Zappa. It's a compilation record, sort of a greatest hits. It's called "Have I Offended Someone," and it's got all of the songs that, well, I won't say all of them. It's got a large chunk of the songs that Frank wrote that are the most offensive or the most anti PMRC, essentially. A lot of these songs were written during the Tipper Gore rampage with the PMRC and trying to get things censored and, what Frank liked to call the Phi Zappa Crappa era. So, some of his best songs are on this record, truthfully. Like, it was a walking, living example of Frank was a brilliant musician. He had a way, man, of spinning a tale and putting a political message into a song in ways that was not obvious. Like, you wouldn't know that it was a political message, whatnot. So,
right. There's something to offend everyone. There's something for every group in the album.
Yeah. So I knew last week this is what I was bringing because,
Well, before I let Lou tell us what he thought of it, I just want to say I'm really happy you brought it this week and not next week. Just really happy about that. I would not see it going over as well next week, I'm pretty sure. But what do you think of it, Lou?
That's just awesome. I know I realized it was like a posthumous compilation, but like I said, every single song is like a big fuck you to a particular group, which is awesome. I mean, obviously Valley Girl was probably the most commercial one, but I mean, how can you not like titties and beer? Come on. I had to go look at the lyrics and I'm like, holy shit, this is, I mean, this isn't like, song, verse, chorus, verse. This is like, boom, boom, boom. I mean, like the lyrics were like 3 pages of stuff. But
it's
Catholic girls. Oh my God. It's like, I just like, oh my God. It's like, some of the stuff probably doesn't quite hold up in the politically correct era, but for the most part, it was a lot of fun.
Until I started working with these guys, I never knew who the fuck Frank Zappa was, just saying. But it's been a pleasant surprise for me over the last year or two, learning more about Zappa every once in a while. Yeah, I mean, we did Zappa last week, so I knew what the fuck to expect when I heard Zappa again. I was like, oh, he talked about this. I should have known this was the one he said he was bringing. But I
should have known this from the album title that you were going to be in for.
I didn't even think of it. I thought it was just like a funny Zappa album title. But I didn't know it was a compilation album either till right now. I didn't look into it really, so I just put it on and hit play. But I didn't know it was a compilation album, but that makes sense now. And I enjoy the hell out of it. I mean, obviously, I am one of those people who offend. I offend more people than I don't. So for an album like this is my golden day. Like, there's a lot of songs in this I got put in my like list on Spotify. It's hilarious. I'll get into it when I get to the songs, but it's freaking hilarious. There's not really not a bad song on here. Just I had to stop picking it at a certain point and be like, all right, I can't. I need to narrow down this list a little better. I can't have the whole. I'm not bringing the whole freaking album. It's too long an album for that. But it was a long fucking album. That was the only point I had. I'm like, oh my god, I'm like this took me so long at work today to get through between like actually working. So I'm just sitting there like hoping I get more emails because I'm like, oh god, there's a 9-minute Zappa song coming up.
Yeah, there's like 15 songs, and one of them's like 7 minutes or something. So
I bring albums on like that all the time, so I'm not complaining. And mine today wasn't exactly short either, but it's Zappa. I can listen to him talk. He's completely open form poetry. It's just free thought poetry. There's no stopping it. He's just going to come out with whatever's on his mind and say it. And that's why I love him. I do love him because of that. And fun album, very fun album. Almost along the lines of like a Weird Al or a Primus album, but it was amazing. It was amazing.
And weird, I wouldn't say weird. I guess the crazy thing about Zappa is he rarely performed the song the same way twice.
Huh.
Like Zappa was one of them guys that he would get bored, so he would literally just, when he walked on stage, he didn't know how he was going to play something. He just sort of played it, and the band was expected to be able to follow along at all times, which is why he's had some of the most world-class players: Steve Vai, Mike Kennelly, Adrian Belew, because he had to have those guys to be able to keep up with the fact that you didn't know when you walked on stage with him, you didn't know how he was going to play it. You just had to improvise on the spot, sort of jazz style, and hope you can keep up.
That's why they were the mothers of invention.
Exactly. That's exactly it. So,
Yeah, I mean, definitely one of those artists you can go see live more than once and never expect to see the same show twice. But there's definitely artists like that though. There's a couple rappers I've seen where every time you go it's the same set, and it's like, Jesus, like change it up, dude. Put some new songs on or something. My God, but
there's a few artists like that. I just seen Def Leppard last year, and they're performing damn near the same set in 2024 that they performed in 1994. Like, change the setup. It's been 40 fucking years. Like,
I saw them in 2011. I guarantee it was the same set. I guarantee it. But I don't even remember it because that's how unmemorable it was. But I know I was there though. Def Leppard, Lita Ford, and Poison. But which Poison was the best act of them all, honestly. But Lita Ford was fun to look at, but that was basically it. Kiss Me Deadly. That it was cool to see her singing that, but that was the only song of hers I actually knew that she did. But what were your top 5 for your album there, CJ?
Number 5 is Valley Girl, just because as a Gen Xer, it's hearing Moon do the whole 80s Valley Girl spiel. The boy was sitting in the room sort of chuckling as it was on, and he's like, did you guys really talk like that? And I was like, the guys didn't, but the girls did. So the whole Grody, take me with a spoon. Number 4, he's so gay. You did that doo-wop thing that had all of the Zappa songs in it that time, and it missed the one song that is the most doo-wop of all the Zappa songs. Obviously. Number 3 is Goblin Girl. I love the double entendre.
Yeah.
That, a monster song, but he's completely talking about something else. Number 2 would be my favorite song, if not for my number 1 song. Tinseltown Rebellion is number 2. I love how he plays on. He's essentially making fun of all of the bands of the 80s in real time. Like, Tinseltown Rebellion was essentially recorded live on stage, and he mentions, he's so beautiful with gay long hair, and then the next thing he like goes into, I'll tumble for you by Culture Club. So he literally just he improvised the entire thing, making fun of Culture Club and Aha and all of the popular bands at the time. The song basically is just roasting them in real time. But my favorite song has always been my favorite Zappa song. The first time I heard it, it's "Titties and Beer." It's it's such a classic song, and if you've ever seen the live video of it, the drummer like wears the devil's mask and does the devil's part. It's really just it's like 8 minutes of the most classic Zappa, man. It's Zappa being Zappa, and you know what you got when you went to a Zappa. It wasn't just music, man. It was a whole theatrical free for all.
Yeah, definitely
And
seems that way.
it's a great song. It with a very comical approach, but and again, who doesn't like titties and beer, as you guys have said. So,
Nobody I hang out with, but that's for damn sure. But well, Lou, what were your top 5 for Zappa?
That was tough because there were so many good ones. Disco Boy, because I love taking a swipe at disco, was 5. 4, Catholic Girls, another one, perfect. 3, I would say, was Goblin Girl, just because it's close to Halloween right now. 2, Titties and Beer, because the title, just based on the title alone. And then the number one, only because I lived in the Valley, was Valley Girl. I don't know. I'd heard that it was his daughter doing the Valley, the girl parts.
Yeah. Moon
Yeah.
Her name is Moon.
Sure. Yeah, Gag Me with a Spoon. So,
and they actually ended up writing a movie based on the song that had Nicolas Cage. It was one of Nicolas Cage's earliest roles.
Nah.
And Moon didn't play the lead role, but she was in the movie. So
yeah,
there's actually like an 80s B movie related to it.
I think I put it on a bracket or two, so I do know that exists. But
and you can hear Valley Girl on the radio. Chances are you probably wouldn't hear Titties and Beer on the radio.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I guess not. Maybe not. But I mean, all the country they play nowadays is pretty close to it, so why not? But I had 3 honorable mentions. There's no way in hell I wasn't going to on this album. It just had to. I cut it off at that point. I'm like, all right, no more. But honorable mentions were Goblin Girl, because the double entendre had me dying. Number 7, my next honorable mention was Sex, because sex. Why the fuck not? Baby, you could use a protein surprise. Fucking A. I love his. I love his lines. I love his lines. But and number 6 was Returning Again for the xylophone. The xylophone in that was freaking incredible, and it's just funny as shit. But I love the Returning Again. Like it's fucking like perfect. Because I love disco, so that was close enough to disco that I enjoyed the hell out of it. But number 5 was Tinseltown Rebellion, because same as you, CJ, all those 80s songs fucking had me rolling laughing. So
yeah.
Number 4 was Titties and Beer, because I'm only interested in 2 things: titties and beer. Number 3 was Bobby Brown Goes Down, because just opening up with that song was fucking hilarious. Yeah. But number 2 was Catholic Girls, because that song had me dying laughing. Like I listened to that like 3 times in a row because I couldn't stop laughing. Hands in my balls when she's down on her knees.
Yeah, I had to go check out the lyrics on that one.
Oh, and there was a hard R freaking drop in that, and I was like, oh, I'm like, damn. I'm like, I'm like, watch this song the next one they try to ban. But if it was more popular, they probably would have tried. But
I don't think they could cancel that, but if you tried, dude.
I don't think you could. He's got such a cult following, there's no way you could. Yeah. But, I mean, they couldn't cancel a Christmas song, so yeah, probably not. But, and number 1, which no one mentioned this one yet, but number 1 was Dumb All Over. Because I am very anti-organized religion on my other podcasts, as everybody knows. And I love the way this song makes fun of religion. freaking had me being like, oh, that's hilarious. Like I was like going back and forth between like shock and freaking awe. It was such a good song.
I think
So,
Frank is he was like the George Carlin of music.
Yeah,
definitely. That's actually a very good description of him.
Yeah, Dynamo Hum is another one worth mentioning that has a really good.
How could they not put Dancing Fool on that compilation album? You remember that one? That had a cool xylophone solo.
At one point, an interesting fact about this record, they ended up, my understanding is they ended up changing the title. The original title was actually supposed to be Proud to Commit Commercial Suicide. And the label or some of his people said, no, you can't put suicide in the title. So they changed it to Have I Offended Someone? And
that probably was Zappa's reply when they called him with that, when they said that you can't use this. So like, have I offended someone? Oh, we got it. That's it. Okay, let's go. I mean, it's truly Zappa-esque. But, well, I guess it's time, folks, to go to today's third and final album, which, how did I get to this album? Well, funny story to this one. No, not that funny, but funny enough. So, I saw that the Foo Fighter album came out in 97, 96, whenever it was.
Yeah.
So, I looked at the year it came out, looking at other albums to bring on, because I like to always go by the year and try to match it up in that time frame. So, I'm looking through the albums, and I'm seeing some things I could bring, the first Godsmack album and so forth. And I'm like, some decent choices, anything that really popped out to me I already brought, because 97 is a big year for music, so people brought out a lot of that over the last 2.5 years on the show. But then I started looking at movie soundtracks that came out that year, because why not? And I came across, and I almost brought Scream 2 soundtrack, but I mainly wanted to bring it for one song that was on it, which was the song that made what I did bring boost into popularity. So I'm like, all right, if I'm going to bring it for one song, I might as well just bring the freaking album that came off of it. It's only like a year later anyway, so I might as well just bring it. I'm like, screw it. I haven't brought this band on in, years, and I haven't, because it got so hated on the last time by Michael Colby. I didn't want to bring it on again for a long time. But I decided to go with their debut album from 98, Cottonmouth Kings' Royal Highness album, because I am a huge Cottonmouth Kings fan. Or I mean, I was a huge Cottonmouth King fan. They haven't really been putting out shit for the last decade, but I am a huge Cottonmouth King fan, and this album is just pure classic 90s goodness. And I spent so many years in college and after college just bumping this whole album in my car nonstop, because it was just such a classic. And I was a lot more of a stoner back then, so I was constantly right in the right mood to listen to this album. So it's classic to me, though, and I honestly forgot how many good songs they had on it. When I listened to it today, I was like, oh, I forgot about that one. I forgot about that one. I really got to work Cottonmouth Kings back in my playlist. It's been a long time since they had, for some reason, not my Spotify like list a lot. I don't know why. I guess I just never really went through them all again and added them. But I'm like, screw it. I'll bring this one. I'm like, if there's one album of theirs I'm not going to really get ragged on for bringing, it's going to be the first one. After that, it's hit or miss. But down to here, Lou, what do you think of Cottonmouth Kings? I honestly wasn't sure how you take this one.
Yeah, I freaking loved it. And honestly, I mean, I was not familiar with this band. I'm like, how did I not know about this? Because I'm a big Sublime fan. And for me, it was like, okay, this is awesome, because three of my favorite bands, Sublime, Beastie Boys, and Rage Against the Machine, if you push them all together, I think you get Cottonmouth.
I mean, you do, because out of Cottonmouth Kings came Head PE, which is a very Rage Against the Machine type band. Like Head PE is like right there with them, with the metal rap combo thing, like them and Limp Bizkit, I guess, too, if you have to.
Was this pre-Sublime? I think it was.
No. So after Sublime, I'm pretty sure it was early 90s.
Same time, actually.
Okay.
I mean, Sublime started in the early 90s, though, didn't they?
Yeah, but their record that them too was about the same time as, because you gotta remember Cottonmouth Kings, pre-Cottonmouth Kings they were humble. They were known as the Humble Gods.
Yeah.
They did more punk. So
yeah, I mean, and that's where they went when they started their own record label. That's what they did a lot of, was they brought a lot of punk bands on and tried to make them all big. But
Suburban Noise was very, very diverse as a label. They had, Head PE, which was, sort of reggae metal, Rage Against the Machinists. They had Big B, which was sort of, tongue in cheek hip hop. They had OPM, which was like Sublime and was more reggae oriented. They had quite a few different genres or different.
They had Moonshine. They had Moonshine fucking Bandits. They had a country rap group on their freaking label for a minute.
The very first record they did,
yeah. I mean, and Moonshine Bandits is actually I've wanted to bring them on the show before. They're not horrible. I like some of their songs. But
they're still around there.
Yeah, they're still going. But I mean, and
this was like an epiphany. Like, this was a discovery, because I mean, I lived in LA in the 90s, and K-Rock played the shit out of Sublime. I'm like, how did I not know about this band?
Because Cottonmouth King was big with Juggalos, and that's where they got big. Was they're
not really radio friendly per se.
No. I mean, but like you saw on this album, they did radio edit versions of songs to try to get them on the radio at least. But I mean, actually, Slaine, a Boston rapper, got big on Suburban Noise Records as well. So, and he's actually been in Mark Wahlberg movies, like our friend Andy Grant. So, wow. But yeah, and I mean, and Madchild, freaking Swollen Members was on Suburban Noise for a good minute. They released at least 4 or 5 albums on there. So, I mean, Madchild got part of his big blow because of them too. So, I mean, they helped boost a lot of people. They worked with Tech Nine. They worked with Cypress Hill. They worked with a lot of bigger names, and that's how they got known, like recognized worldwide, is by working with bigger names on songs. And then people would be like, "Oh, Tech Nine, let me listen to this," and then they'd be like, "Who the fuck's these white guys? And why are they so good?" But
man, I mean, they toured their ass
Oh,
off.
they never tour the East Coast anymore, though. I'm so fucking pissed. I want to see them live so bad. Like, but I mean, it's not Cottonmouth Kings anymore. It's really not.
I was gonna say 2 of them are dead. So.
Yeah, Saint Dog and Daddy X, right? Or no, Daddy X and Saint Dog.
Johnny, I think, is the one that died. Daddy X is the one that's still alive.
Yeah, Johnny died. Daddy X is still alive. And Pakalika died.
Yeah.
I mean, he wasn't really a rapper, but still he died. He was like their group. He was like their groupie. He was like their Flavor Flav. But
right.
So what do you think of this album, CJ? Yeah, actually,
I love Cottonmouth Kings. This one isn't my favorite one, but I like it. For me, Cottonmouth Kings, my favorite record is Crown Power.
I'm so hesitant to bring on the show though, because it's 2 fucking long albums, like in one.
It is. Well, Crown Power is one record, but it's long. It's got like, I think, 20 songs on it.
At least.
That I have this thing. So anytime I buy a new speaker, new stereo, new headphones, anything, the very first song that I test it with is Chronotron. Chronotron just has that,
that bass.
Fucking 808s in it, man, and it's just a perfect. That and Bounce by Run DMC, from the Beavis and Butthead thing. Both of those songs have massive bass response. So I know that if I listen to a headphone or a speaker, portable speaker or anything, and if those songs sound good, it's a good speaker. But this record, my one knock against this record is, and I get it, it's their very first record. It has some of the songs, especially towards the beginning, has a very heavy sort of Psychopathic Records sound, which they got away from, which is a good thing. But listening to it now, it's kind of like, okay, you could tell that they were leaning really hard into trying to get that.
They were juggalos. They worshipped ICP. They worshipped ICP. So
right, and there was, especially like the first 2 or 3 songs or 4 songs. They're really, really, really ICP sounding songs, which isn't a bad thing if you like ICP. But when you're trying to build your own thing.
Yeah.
You know, and again, they got away from it, and you know, they're not bad songs. They're not my favorites, but there's a few songs on this record that are among my favorite songs by them. So
yeah, I mean,
I wasn't unhappy to see this record.
I mean, any band's first outing is always a iffy thing,
and as someone that was born on 420, you know, never.
I mean, yeah.
I mean, the majority of the records have been released on my birthday, so you know, it's always cool to, you know, get a cool birthday gift of, hey, Cottonmouth Kings dropped a record, you know, Cypress Hill dropped a record, so you know you have something to listen to on your birthday pretty much all the time. And I'm not a stoner; I've never smoked weed in my life, but you know, hey, 420 is 420. You got to kind of enjoy it where you can.
Exactly, and yeah, I mean, yeah, I can hear what you're saying, but one of those songs boosted them to fucking their first
right,
bump towards nationwide.
I don't mean it as a knock. Like I said, it's. I mean, if I had one complaint about this record, you could tell that it was very early in their career, and
I mean, they literally sound like 13-year-olds in their dad's basement wanting to be gangsters. Like that's what they sound like. But they got the flow. That's the thing. They got the flow in the verses, so they could freaking get away with it. And so I had 3 honorable mentions for this one too, because how could I fucking not? I mean, there's actually a lot of songs in this. There's a few songs on this, I should say, that I don't like. Like there's like Big Hoss. I have never liked that freaking song. It's always like I'm like, this is such a waste of a track. Like that. I get you're trying to honor like your homie who's in prison, and you even got him like to record something through the freaking phone, but still, it's just like come on now, like get this off here. That's garbage. But my honorable mentions are Misunderstood. I love the lyrics in that song. So High is just a classic song when you're stoned. Like it's just right up there with like some of the best stoner tracks ever. And Play On, because it is like there's ICP references all throughout that song. And I love it. And the freaking beat in that song is phenomenal. But my number 5 is Bump, because Bump is just such a good song. The bass is incredible in it, and the flow is so incredible to go along with it. So it just works out really well. And some of the lyrics, Daddy X is a really good verse on that. I'm pretty sure Johnny does too. But number 4 is Bong Token Alcoholics, because I described myself as a Bong Token Alcoholic for a long time in my life. So, and I mean, that song, it's not even that great a song. It's just more of the title of the track, and the lyrics are not half bad at least. But number three is Psychedelic Funk, because that song is rap gold. The flow in the verses is just phenomenal throughout it. It's anybody who hears that and doesn't think it's good rap, I really question their sanity and their taste in music. But my number two is What's Your Trip, because it's good story. It's good storytelling, and ever since I first heard this album, it's been one of my favorite things to ask people when they're like flipping out. I was like, "What's your trip, man?" And number 1 is the song I wanted to bring this on for, the song that's on the Scream 2 soundtrack, and that's Suburban Life. I freaking love it. It's like an ICP song kind of, but it's I like it. I like anything that goes against like the normal society and comments on it. So Suburban Life. I grew up in the suburbs. I was a suburban white boy my whole childhood, and so I 100% get this song and what they're trying to say, and it's classic. It's too short. That's the only complaint I have about it. It's too short. Like I wish we had like another minute or two at least with some more verses thrown in. But they did another version of it on one of their Hidden Stash records, 1408, which is kind of almost a better version of it. But I mean, I love like the way like they do like their laugh rap. That CJ's right though. Their other albums got way better. But I brought Long Live the Kings. I'm pretty sure that's which one it was. Yeah, it was, because it's the one that they signed. What's his name? Dirtball. It's one where they signed Dirtball and announced him. And Michael Colby and Chansey tore it the fuck apart. Like you know both of them, so you know what they're like. And Jesus, it made me not want to bring Cottonmouth Kings on for a couple of years. So I've been hesitant as fuck. But yeah, so those are my top 5. What are your top 5 off this one, Lou?
Top 5, they're all really good, but number 5, I had Dog's Life. 4, Suburban Life, like you just mentioned. I didn't know, was that was on the Scream soundtrack?
Scream 2.
Oh, Scream 2. Oh, cool. Number 3, I had Discombobulated, just because I love that word. It's such a funny song. 2 was Bump. And my number 1 was the first one I heard, which first track, Bong Token Alcoholics. How can you go wrong? So I think that was just because it was the first one I heard, and I was like, holy shit. So
yeah, I mean, they basically like took what the Beastie Boys did already, and they just made it West Coast, in my opinion. They made it West Coast instead of New York City, which I that's why I hear in their music a lot. It's that Beastie Boys like influence. But CJ, what were your top 5?
My number 5 is Play On. I like Play On. My number 4, song they kind of, as a tribute to the Humble Gods, and actually, credit Humble Gods, even though they are Humble Gods. Is the song Spies. I love that. That's the punk vibe of it.
It's a good song. I'm not a huge punk guy, but that's a good song.
Yeah, and I am. I love punk. I'm punk through and through. If I had to list genres, metals or I don't want to say hair metal, but that that genre of sort of hard rock, whatnot would be number 1, and punk would be like right after it. Even before like regular metal. Number 3 is So High. Number 2 is Psychedelic Funk. So High and Psychedelic Funk both. I like the sort of reggae-ish vibe to them. But much like Lou, I knew my number 1 as soon as I saw the song titles, because I also am a huge fan of the word discombobulated. I use it all of the time, and people look at me like, Mr. Educated over here with his fancy words, because they don't know what discombobulated means. So
yeah,
I like the song. It's a good song, and it's got a cool vibe to it. So
I was once again trying not to put every song on my list. So yeah, Discombobulated a fucking incredible song. The verses and the lyrics are fucking incredible, and they really are. The way they rhyme things with Discombobulated blows my mind to this day. But I was just trying to.
But I'm kind of like you. There's a bunch of songs that you really could add as honorable mentions. I didn't, just because I kind of wanted. I figured we'd be pushing up against the limit, and I didn't want to go on forever about this record. So, good record. You never go wrong with Cottonmouth Kings. I mean, not something you play at a funeral, but if you have a time and a laugh.
They can play it at my funeral. I'll be freaking happy with that.
Who the person is.
Oh, dude! If they play Flying High, at my fucking funeral, I'll be happy with it.
Yeah.
Okay. See, now I know you like Cottonmouth. I got a shitload more choices to bring in the future. But I space them out. I don't want to listen to them.
Trust me, you get the right guest with the right combination of things. I'm bringing Crown Power on. That's been on my list of stuff.
I love Crown Power, really do.
Yeah,
it was the last good album they put out before it became just the two of them again, and they put out a shitty album. But
I still listen to that one in the car all the time, dude. Like that's one of the records.
I haven't a fucking minute, but funny enough, I was editing the episode today with the Coop on it, and I was listening to Guillotine like while I was editing. I was like, I forgot how good this is. But well, folks, we want to thank Lou for coming on, because it's been a fun freaking show, and he's definitely welcome back anytime. He like Cottonmouth King, so fucking A, he's welcome back anytime.
Oh yeah.
But and we look forward to having the last NAPG member for right now on next week. Andy, if you hear this, I need your album choice. But I'll reach out to you a different way tomorrow if you don't get back.
Andy's full of surprises, so you may be surprised at what
she hinted at. Well, I don't know. She got pretty excited when I mentioned we were doing a Led Zeppelin bracket a while back, and she hinted at Santana. So I'm not sure which way she's going to go, but we'll see. We'll see. Where can they find you, Lou? And where can they find your podcast?
I'm at Lou Bortone on all the socials, and my podcast is probably easiest to find on my YouTube channel, which is also Lou Bortone.
Well, there you go, folks. Nice and simple.
Cool.
And CJ, where can they find you if they so dare?
Music God CJ Plain .rocks ROCKS. That's the website. We're getting ready here in about 9 days. We retired the Noise Report. We're gonna launch the brand new one called the Mosh Pit Manifesto.
Nice.
All punk, all metal, all the time. With very cool interviews, shorts, reels, and other stuff. We're gonna give the history of punk according to me, and a lot of other stuff. And we're gonna deep dive. We're gonna have the good stuff, but we're gonna deep dive as well on new and upcoming bands and old bands and bands that should have been famous but maybe weren't, and different things. And we're gonna have a lot of fun with it. So kind of gonna be a history lesson in punk and metal, man. What else? Just type in Music God CJ Plain. You'll find me, and I keep it simple for people to find me, man. You see my ugly ass everywhere.
And you can see my slightly better looking ass and everything the Musers all together as a group do on Facebook as Squatchy Largefoot, on X and the Gram as that Juggalo Bastard, and on YouTube as Maniacal Music Musings. The best place to see everything we do is YouTube. And all the history is there. Though I just learned how to up my podcatcher's limits to 100 episodes. I didn't realize I could change it. I thought I did, but whatever. So instead of 20 episodes of history of MMM, there's now 100 episodes on all podcatchers. So there you go, folks. Get those listens in because we need the numbers. Not that I care about that, really. But, well, come back. Actually, we'll come back next week, of course. Check out the regular episode. And come back Saturday at 4 p.m. Eastern and wherever the other time zones are for the top 30 horror movie songs. Top 30 horror movie songs. It's our Halloween special bracket. So it was picked by Mr. Dark himself. So come check it out and see which song we declare as the best. I have my mixed opinions already from listening to the playlist once. But we'll see. But come back then and have a good one, everybody, and have a good night.
Thanks, you guys. Appreciate it.
Great having you, Luke.